Let's talk a little Vinnie Vincent. Vinnie Vincent I was thinking about this last night. Honestly, in my way of thinking, his chops are pretty much unparalleled as far as flat picking, and then combining that with hybrid picking. And I introduced him to a friend of mine from way back, and another guitar player, so he gave me his opinion. He thought it was almost like a Zappa who could play faster. More advanced type of riffing. And I know he gets a lot of flack. There's a lot of people just absolutely don't like what he does. I think he's fantastic. He was fantastic. I don't know if we're going to hear from him. Man, that guy just was a monster on the guitar. Now, his two-handed tapping, there's other guys that I might like better at that, but as far as flat picking, again, in combination with some hybrid picking, Vinnie Vincent was the real deal. Now, in a way, he could almost remind me of myself in that it seems from what you hear that he might have had a tough time keeping his personal life together. And, and maybe he didn't work well with others. It's hard to say. And like I said, there's people that don't like what he was doing. They call it like a bunch of angry bees, all this other stuff. I actually think it's fantastic. Part of it, my theory is that once you get, in my own listening, once I got to a certain point, I could actually start to hear every note, and it wasn't a blur. No matter how fast somebody played, my brain could articulate the notes. And I wonder if, for some people, their ears are not trained enough to make out every note, and it just sounds like a blur. But Vinnie Vincent is one of those fantastic guys, and somebody that I really would like to see come back and make another record. And it seems like it would be doable, with Pro Tools or Ableton Live or whatever. He could just do the whole thing on his own. Will we ever hear from Vinnie again? I don't know. As an aside, there's a band he was in before Kiss, and I'll try to find the link to it here. I don't even remember the name of this group, but there's like a whole set he did with this group, and it shows his range of playing. I'll see if I can find that link. Anyway, in my mind, Vinnie Vincent is one of the greats. I guess I can add that those two albums he did with Vinnie Vincent Invasion, they were way over the top. I mean, that's like the highest singer between what was the guy's, Fleischman, and then Slaughter, Mark Slaughter. Is it Robert Fleischman and Mark Slaughter? Between the two of them, album to album, that's like some of the most over-the-top high singing that I've ever heard. And then it's sort of like sleaze rock, and then the solos are crazy. But those are actually fairly memorable records, at least to my way of thinking. Anyway, that's my take on Vinnie Vincent.